Mother Mary is a 2026 psychological drama thriller film written and directed by David Lowery. The film stars Anne Hathaway, Michaela Coel, Hunter Schafer, Atheena Frizzell, Kaya Gerber, Jessica Brown Findlay, Isaura Barb Brown, Alba Baptista, Sian Clifford, and FKA Twigs. It follows a pop star whose reunion with her former costume designer forces her to confront her past. The film received a limited theatrical release in the United States by A24 on April 17, 2026, before opening wide on April 24. Plot: Mother Mary, a world-famous pop icon, prepares to mount a comeback performance in the wake of an onstage accident. Overwhelmed during a costume fitting, she flees to the English countryside to seek out fashion designer Sam Anselm, her estranged friend and collaborator. With 3 days until Mary's show, Sam grudgingly agrees to design her a dress. Tensions rise as they make preparations at Sam's barn-turned-workshop, and Mary struggles to explain her vision for the dress. Sam questions her about the upcoming performance and her accident, which some suspect was a suicide attempt. She refuses to listen to Mary's new song, forcing her to perform the choreography without music. Suggesting a long train made from her previous iconic dresses to be torn away on stage, Sam recognizes that Mary is desperate for personal and artistic clarity. Old resentments are laid bare as a vengeful Sam forces Mary to confront the end of their close creative partnership. Despite launching Mary's career together, Sam was denied credit and cut out of her inner circle. Sam explains that she has not listened to Mary's music since being visited by a ghost. At a concert after their estrangement, her bitterness toward Mary resulted in a broken tooth, and she awoke after having it removed to discover the wound had released a spectral figure of red cloth. Mary reveals that she saw the same ghost after a seance with her team where Imogen, a fan possessed by a mysterious spirit, cut open Mary's hand. That night, the red ghost appeared to Mary and attempted to enter her wound, but she escaped. Exhausted by her demanding tour, she was confronted by the ghost during a concert and severely injured, falling as the spirit inhabited her. Though recovered from the accident, she remains haunted by the ghost now inside her. Sam leads a reluctant Mary in a ritual to exorcise the spirit, using her dressmaking tools and invoking their past collaborations. Taking Sam's shears, Mary slices open her own chest and Sam pulls out the ghost, turning the spirit of their mutual trauma into harmless fabric. Mary apologizes for having wronged Sam and her team rushes her to the show, while Sam is inspired to craft the red fabric into a dress. Her assistant Hilda describes Mary taking the stage, shedding her original costume and dedicating her song to Sam, who envisions Mother Mary in the finished dress. Cast: Anne Hathaway as Mother Mary, Michaela Coel as Sam Anselm, Hunter Schafer as Hilda, FKA Twigs as Imogen, Atheena Frizzell as Emily, Kaya Gerber as Nikki, Jessica Brown Findlay as Tessa, Isaura Barb Brown as Kyla, Alba Baptista as Mille Contrera, Sian Clifford as Jade. Production: The project was first announced in March 2023. David Lowery was to write and direct the film, and Michaela Coel and Anne Hathaway were announced to star. 5 in May and October 2023, respectively, Hunter Schafer and Sian Clifford joined the cast. 6 in March 2024, FKA Twigs was revealed to have a role in the film. 7 It was co-financed with A24, Topic Studios and IPR.VC. 5/8. Filming began in Germany in May 2023. 9 In July, the production was granted a waiver to continue filming during the 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike. 10 On July 20, 2024, Hathaway announced that filming had wrapped. 11. Influences. The character of Mother Mary was inspired by the singer Taylor Swift, for the direction, and Beyoncé, for Hathaway's acting performance. Lowery said the film was partly inspired by Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992. 12 He also drew inspiration from Taylor Swift's Reputation Stadium tour, Her Reputation concert film is one of the best concert films ever. It's truly phenomenal. And for our concert sequences we looked at that repeatedly. Hathaway's character, Mother Mary, is Lowery's vision for what a Taylor Swift-like figure would be in the future. He added, "I definitely brought a lot of Taylor Swift to the table in terms of who Mother Mary was. I would often be like, imagine Taylor Swift in 10 or 15 years, that's sort of who this character could be." 13. At a press conference held in April 2026, Hathaway revealed that she had drawn inspiration from Beyoncé for her character, citing the track American Requiem from the singer 8th studio album Cowboy Carter as the key to understanding how to perform her character, stating that Beyoncé's technique in that song is so mesmerizing and astonishing, and listening to her phraseology, her musicianship, understanding the history of her voice that had led her to be able to make that sound that is so still, so present. 14-15 Hathaway also revealed that she drew inspiration from Beyoncé's concert film and live album Homecoming. 16. Music. Music was composed by Daniel Hart, with original songs provided by musicians Jack Antonoff and Charlie XCX. 5 FKA Twigs was also announced to provide an original song. 7. The soundtrack album Mother Mary, Greatest Hits was announced on March 5, 2026. 17. It was released on April 17, 2026, via A24 Music. It includes 7 original songs, all performed by Hathaway. Alongside the announcement, the lead single Burial was released. 18. Release. Mother Mary was released in the United States by A24 in limited theaters on April 17, 2026, before expanding nationwide on April 24, 1920. Reception. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 71% of 142 critics' reviews are positive. The website's consensus reads, "Anne Hathaway acquits herself well as a believable pop star in Mother Mary, a modish psychodrama that can be frustratingly obtuse but has style to spare." 21. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 58 out of 100, based on 36 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. 22. David Ehrlich of IndieWire gave the film an A and wrote, "It's all rather vague and uncertain, like the contours of a rotting old friendship. The movie's surfaces are as simple as the lyrics of a pop song, and its depths as rich and boundless as the feelings that same pop song might summon." 23. Brian Tallarico of RogerEbert.com gave the film 3 out of 4 stars and described it as another story about the intersection of fame and art, but it's not like one you've seen before, a two-hander that owes as much to The Exorcist as it does to Lady Gaga. And Jacqueline Hathaway, born November 12, 1982, is an American actress. Her accolades include an Academy Award, a British Academy Film Award, a Golden Globe Award, and a Primetime Emmy Award. Her films have grossed over $6.8 billion worldwide. She was among the world's highest-paid actresses in 2015. Hathaway performed in several plays in high school. As a teenager, she was cast in the television series Get Real, 1999 to 2000, and made her breakthrough by playing the lead role in the Disney comedy The Princess Diaries, 2001. After starring in a string of family films, including Ella Enchanted, 2004, Hathaway made a transition to mature roles with the 2005 drama Brokeback Mountain. The comedy drama The Devil Wears Prada, 2006, in which she played an assistant to a fashion magazine editor, was her biggest commercial success to that point. She played a recovering addict in the drama Rachel Getting Married, 2008, which earned her a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actress. Hathaway had further commercial success in the comedy Get Smart, 2008, The Romance's Bride Wars, 2009, Valentine's Day, 2010, and Love and Other Drugs, 2010, and the fantasy film Alice in Wonderland, 2010. In 2012, She starred as Catwoman in her highest-grossing film, The Dark Knight Rises, and played Fantine, a prostitute dying of tuberculosis, in the musical Les Miserables, for which she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. She has since starred in the films Interstellar, 2014, The Intern, 2015, Ocean's 8, 2018, The Hustle, 2019, The Idea of You, 2024, and in the miniseries We Crashed, 2022. Hathaway has won a Primetime Emmy Award for her guest voice role on The Simpsons, sung for soundtracks and appeared on stage. She is a board member of the Lollipop Theatre Network, an organization that brings films to children in hospitals, and she advocates for gender equality as a UN Women Goodwill Ambassador. Early life and background. Anne Jacqueline Hathaway was born on November 12, 1982, in the Brooklyn borough of New York City. She is of Irish, English, German, and French descent. Her father, Gerald, was a labor attorney, and her mother, Kate, née Macaulay, is a former actress. 3 Hathaway's maternal grandfather was WIP, AM, Philadelphia radio personality Joe Macaulay. 4 According to the Daily Telegraph, she was named after William Shakespeare's wife. 5 She has an older brother, Michael, and a younger brother, Thomas. 6 When Hathaway was 6 years old, the family moved to Milburn, New Jersey, where she was raised. 7 Entrance to the theater Paper Mill Playhouse with the poster to a play outside it. As a child, Hathaway appeared in several productions at Paper Mill Playhouse. At age 8, when Hathaway watched her mother perform in the first national tour of Les Miserables as Fantine, she instantly became fascinated with the stage, but her parents were not keen on allowing her to pursue an acting career. After this, Kate quit acting to raise Hathaway and her brothers. 8 Hathaway was raised as Roman Catholic with what she considers to be really strong values and wished to be a nun during her childhood, but acting was always a high priority for her. 7-9 Her relationship with the Catholic Church changed at age 15, after learning that her older brother was gay. 9 Her family left the church, joining the Episcopal Church because of its acceptance of homosexuality, but they eventually left that, too. 10 In 2009, Hathaway described her religious beliefs as a work in progress. 9. Hathaway attended Brooklyn Heights Montessori School and Wyoming Elementary School in Milburn. 11 She graduated from Milburn High School, where she played soccer and took part in many plays, including Once Upon a Mattress, in which she portrayed Winifred. 12 Later, she appeared in the plays Jane Eyre and Gigi, at New Jersey's Paper Mill Playhouse. 13 She studied at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in 1993 and became the first teenager admitted into the Barrow Group Theatre Company's acting program. 14-15 She spent several semesters studying as an English major and political science minor at Vassar College in Poughkeepsie, New York. 16 Before transferring to New York University's Gallatin School of Individualized Study. 17 Between 1998 and 1999, Hathaway sang soprano with the All-Eastern U.S. High School Honors Chorus at Carnegie Hall and in plays at Seton Hall Preparatory School in West Orange, New Jersey. Early in her film career, her acting style and appearance would be likened to Judy Garland, whom she cites as one of her favorite actresses. 11 And Audrey Hepburn. 18 19 20 21 3 days after her performance at Carnegie Hall, Hathaway was cast in the short-lived Fox television series Get Real. 13 She played the teenager Megan Green, alongside John Tenney, Deborah Ferrantino, and Jesse Eisenberg. 22 Despite her early success, Hathaway suffered from depression and anxiety as a teenager. However, she said in 2008 that she had since grown from it. 5 She missed her first college semester for the filming of her cinematic debut, The Princess Diaries, 2001. 13 According to Hathaway, she never regretted not completing her degree, as she enjoyed being with others who were trying to grow up. 17. Career. 2001 to 2004, early roles and breakthrough. In 2001, Hathaway starred in the Disney comedy The Princess Diaries, based on Meg Cabot's novel of the same name. Hathaway portrayed teenager Mia Thermopolis, who discovers that she is the heiress to the throne of the fictional kingdom of Genovia. Hathaway auditioned for the role during a flight layover on the way to New Zealand. 11 director Gary Marshall initially considered Liv Tyler for the role, but cast Hathaway after his granddaughters suggested that she had the best princess hair. 23 The film became a major commercial success, grossing $165 million worldwide. 24 Many critics lauded Hathaway's performance. A BBC critic noted that Hathaway shines in the title role and generates great chemistry, and the New York Times Elvis Mitchell found her to be royalty in the making, a young comic talent with a scramble of features. 26 She earned an MTV Movie Award for Best Breakthrough Female Performance nomination for the role. 27 The same year, Hathaway starred with Christopher Gorham in Mitch Davis's The Other Side of Heaven, which was also distributed by Disney. Inspired by John H. Groberg's memoir In the Eye of the Storm, the film met with mostly negative reviews and was a box office failure. 28. In terms of the princess role, there is only so long that you can play those as a young lady before you start feeling really ridiculous. They are so much fun to do, I figure I might as well get the most out of them while I can. Then I'll go off and play all the drug addicts and the prostitutes, and all the good ones you win Oscars for a little bit later on. Hathaway, 2004-18. Owing to the success of The Princess Diaries, People magazine named Hathaway one of its breakthrough stars of 2001. 29 In February 2002, Hathaway starred in the City Center Encore's concert production of Carnival. In her New York City stage debut, she was cast as Lily, an optimistic orphan who falls in love with a magician. Before rehearsing with the full cast, Hathaway trained with a vocal coach for 2 weeks. She memorized almost all her lines and songs at the first read-through. 13 Critics generally praised her for holding her own against well-known actors and heralded her as a new star. 13 In a positive review of the musical, Charles Isherwood of Variety called Hathaway the highlight of the show and remarkably unaffected and winning, praising her convincing performance. 30 She won a Clarence Derwent Award for Most Promising Female. 31 Later, Hathaway voiced the audiobook release of the first 3 books in the Princess Diaries novels. 32. Hathaway portrayed princesses and appeared in family-oriented films over the next 3 years, subsequently becoming known in mainstream media as a children's role model. 29 After voicing Haru Yoshioka for the English version of The Cat Returns, 2002, 33 She starred in Douglas McGrath's comedy drama Nicholas Nickleby, 2002, which opened to positive reviews. However, the film did not enter wide release and failed at the North American box office, totaling less than $4 million in ticket sales. 34 The fantasy romantic comedy Ella Enchanted, 2004, in which Hathaway played the titular character, also performed poorly at the box office. 35 She had first read the book on which the film is based when she was 16, and stated that the script was originally much closer to the source material but did not work as a film, and therefore preferred the picture the way it turned out. 18 It opened to mostly mixed reviews. 36 Hathaway sang 3 songs on the film's soundtrack, including a duet with singer Jesse McCartney. 37. In 2003, Hathaway turned down the role of Christine Daff for Joel Schumacher's The Phantom of the Opera, 2004, because the production schedule of the film overlapped with The Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement, 2004. 31 She was initially hesitant and nervous about starring in the sequel, but agreed to it after Marshall convinced her that she was not repeating anything. 18 The film was released in August 2004 to negative reviews 38 but made $134.7 million against a $45 million budget. 39. 2005 to 2008, Rise to Prominence. Hathaway began taking on adult roles to avoid typecasting. 29, remarking that anybody who was a role model for children needs a reprieve, but noted that it's lovely to think that my audience is growing up with me. 40, new archival link needed after replacing Tara Strong for the voice role of Red Puckett in Hoodwinked, 41, she starred in the drama Havoc, 2005, as a spoiled socialite, appearing nude in some of its scenes. While the film was thematically different from her previous releases, Hathaway denied that her role was an attempt to be seen as a more mature actress, citing her belief that performing nudity in certain films is merely a part of what her chosen form of art demands of her. Because of this belief, she does not consider appearing nude in appropriate films to be morally objectionable. 42, the film was not released in theaters in the United States due to unfavorable critical reception. 43. In the 2005 drama Brokeback Mountain, which depicts the emotional and sexual relationship between two men married to women, Ennis Del Mar, played by Heath Ledger, and Jack Twist, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, Hathaway played Lou Ryan, the wife of Jack. The actress was originally sent the script with the part of Ennis' wife in mind, but decided to audition for Lou Ryan instead after she read it. 44, she lied during the audition about her knowledge of writing so that the director Ang Lee would cast her, but did subsequently take lessons. 45, the film received critical acclaim and several Academy Award nominations. 46, Peter Travers of Rolling Stone wrote that Hathaway excels at showing Lou Ryan's journey from cutie pie to hard case, and Todd McCarthy of Variety credited her for providing an entertaining contrast in wifely disappointment. 47-48, Hathaway stated that the content of Brokeback Mountain was more important than its award count, and that making the film made her more aware of the kind of stories she wanted to tell as an actor. 49, at this point, she realized that she wanted to play roles to move audiences or otherwise entertain them so much that they forget about their own lives. 5. A picture of Anne Hathaway looking into the camera. Hathaway at the 2007 Deauville American Film Festival. Hathaway starred in the comedy drama The Devil Wears Prada, 2006, based on Lauren Weisberger's novel of the same name, as a college graduate who becomes an assistant to a powerful fashion magazine editor, played by Meryl Streep. 7. She was the 9th choice for the part, citing this later as an inspiration for people to never give up. 50, and in preparation she volunteered for a few weeks as an assistant at an auction house. 51, she also followed a weight loss regimen, along with co-star Emily Blunt, which made them hungry and led to crying. 52, Hathaway stated that working on the film made her respect the fashion industry a great deal more than she did previously, though she admitted that her personal style was something she still can't get right. 15, The Devil Wears Prada received positive reviews. Roger Ebert called Hathaway a great beauty, who makes a convincing career girl, and Rotten Tomatoes found Streep in top form and Anne Hathaway more than holding her own. 53-54, it proved to be her most widely seen film to that point, with a worldwide gross of over $326.5 million. 55. Originally cast in Knocked Up, Hathaway dropped out before production and was replaced with Katherine Heigl. This happened because, according to writer-director Judd Apatow, the actress was uncomfortable with the use of real footage of a woman in labor. 56, she believed it did not contribute to the film's story. 57, her sole release in 2007 was the biographical romantic drama Becoming Jane, as the titular English author Jane Austen. 49, a fan of Austen since age 14, Hathaway prepared for the role by rereading Austen's books and conducting historical research, such as perusing the author's letters. She also learned sign language, calligraphy, dance choreography, and the piano. She moved to England a month before filming to improve her English accent. A 59, she received a British Independent Film Award for Best Actress nomination for the film 60, although some critics negatively focused on her accent and performance. 61. In October 2008, Hathaway hosted an episode of the NBC late-night sketch comedy Saturday Night Live. 62, she also starred in Peter Segal's film adaptation of Mel Brooks' television series Get Smart, in which she played Agent 99. Calling the role a childhood dream come true, Hathaway learned martial arts and dancing techniques in preparation. 40 While filming an action sequence, she split the flesh of her shin to the bone, which led to her receiving 15 stitches. 5 The film, centering on an analyst who dreams of becoming a real field agent and a better spy, was a financial success. 63 Hathaway's two other releases of 2008 were the drama Rachel Getting Married and the mystery thriller Passengers, the latter of which was a critical and commercial failure. 64 In Jonathan Demme's Rachel Getting Married, she starred as a young woman who, after being released from drug rehabilitation, returns home for her sister's wedding. Portraying a character she described as narcissistic, downright selfish, Hathaway garnered critical acclaim for her performance. 65 Peter Travers found her to be raw and riveting in the role, adding that she acts the hell out of it, achieving a state of sorrowful grace. 66 She received Academy Award, Golden Globe Award, Critics' Choice, and SAG nominations for Best Actress. 65-67 She won the Critics' Choice. 2009 to 2011, romantic comedies and hosting events. Hathaway starred in Bride Wars, 2009, which she described as hideously commercial, gloriously so. 68 The romantic comedy, in which she and Kate Hudson played two best friends who become rivals after their weddings are scheduled on the same day, was a critical failure. It was named among the 10 worst chick flicks in history by Time in 2010. 69 Despite this, the film was successful financially and earned Hathaway an MTV Movie Award for Best Female Performance nomination. 70-71 She played the heroine Viola in a summer 2009 production of Twelfth Night at the Delacorte Theater in New York City. Charles Isherwood opined that Hathaway dives smoothly and with obvious pleasure into the embrace of a cohesive ensemble cast. 72 For her portrayal of the role, she garnered a nomination for the Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Actress in a Play. 73 In 2010, she also won a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Voice-Over Performance for providing her voice for the episode Once Upon a Time in Springfield in The Simpsons. 74 Hathaway voiced different characters in Family Guy in 2010 and 2011. 75-76 In 2010, Hathaway appeared as a receptionist who dates a clerk, played by Topher Grace, in the ensemble romantic comedy Valentine's Day, directed by Gary Marshall. The film was a commercial success, grossing more than $215 million worldwide against a budget of $52 million. 77 Hathaway played the White Queen in Tim Burton's 2010 adaptation of the fantasy novels Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass alongside Helena Bonham Carter and Johnny Depp. She summed up her character with a caption on a magnet of Happy Bunny holding a knife, "Cute but psycho. Things even out." 78 Hathaway described her interpretation of the White Queen as a punk rock vegan pacifist, drawing inspiration from Debbie Harry and the artwork of Dan Flavin. 79 Alice in Wonderland received mixed reviews from critics, who praised the film's visuals but criticized the lack of narrative coherence. 80 Commercially, it grossed $1 billion to become the second highest grossing film of 2010. 81 A bust shot of a young woman standing in a side view, her head turned to look to the camera. Her long hair is pulled back from her face and cascades down her back. She wears a black sleeveless dress with a gold trim around the back and under her arm. She wears jeweled silver floral-shaped earrings and smiles softly. There is a crowd of people, slightly out of focus, in the background. Hathaway at the Nobel Peace Prize concert in 2010, which she hosted with actor Denzel Washington. Hathaway reunited with Jake Gyllenhaal as a free-spirited artist with Parkinson's disease in Edward Zwick's erotic romantic comedy drama Love and Other Drugs, based on the non-fiction book Hard Sell, The Evolution of a Viagra Salesman by Jamie Reedy. For the role, she spent time with a Parkinson's patient to research the disease, and in preparation for its nude scenes, she watched films of Kate Winslet and Penelope Cruz who, in Hathaway's view, had performed nudity with sensitivity and dignity. 82-83 She believed these scenes would not discourage socially conservative people from watching the film. 84 Critics generally praised the film's adult romance, but were unenthusiastic about its plot elements. 85 Hathaway's performance, which Ebert called warm, lovable, 86 earned her a Satellite Award and a nomination for the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress, Comedy or Musical. 87-88 Together with actor Denzel Washington, Hathaway hosted the Nobel Peace Prize concert in Oslo, Norway in December 2010. 89 2 months later, she and James Franco hosted the 83rd Academy Awards. 90 Critics were unenthusiastic about their chemistry, but thought Hathaway gave her best and did a better job than Franco, who they felt seemed uninterested. 91 At the 63rd Primetime Emmy Awards, she garnered an Outstanding Variety Special, Live, nomination. 92. In 2011, Hathaway voiced Jewel, a female Spix's macaw from Rio de Janeiro, in the animated film Rio, produced by 20th Century Fox and Blue Sky Studios. It received generally positive reviews from film critics, who praised the visuals, voice acting and music. 93 A commercial success, it grossed more than $484 million worldwide against a budget of $90 million. 94 Later, Hathaway starred alongside Jim Sturgis in Lone Scarfax One Day, based on David Nichols' novel of the same name. The film tells the story of two young people who meet annually for 20 years after they shared a platonic one-night stand together. Hathaway was clandestinely given the script, as One Day was set in Britain, and Scarfax was not looking for any American actresses for the part. After a non-productive meeting with Scarfax, Hathaway left a list of songs for the director, who after listening to them, cast the actress for the part. B95 Hathaway later expressed regret that she might have unwittingly held misogyny during production, as she came to feel that she had not trusted Scarfax as a director because of her gender. 96 Her Yorkshire accent in the film was considered subpar. Columnist Suzanne Moore, reviewing the film on BBC Radio 4's Front Row, said Hathaway's accents were all over the shop, adding, "Sometimes she's from Scotland, sometimes she's from New York, you just can't tell." 97 The film itself received polarizing reviews from critics. 98 but became a moderate box office success. 99 100. 2012 to 2014, Les Miserables and films with Christopher Nolan. In 2012, Hathaway's audiobook recording of L. Frank Baum's 1900 novel The Wonderful Wizard of Oz was released at Audible.com and garnered her an Audie Award nomination for Best Solo Narration, Female. 101 She then played the sly, morally ambiguous cat burglar Selina Kyle / Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises, the final installment in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight trilogy. 102 Hathaway auditioned not knowing what part she was being considered for, admitting that she had Harley Quinn in mind but only learned her role after talking with Nolan for an hour. 103 She described it as her most physically demanding assignment to that point, as she had to redouble her efforts in the gym to keep up with the requirements of the role. 104 105 She trained extensively in martial arts, and looked to Hedy Lamarr in developing her performance as Catwoman. 106 The Dark Knight Rises was critically successful and grossed more than $1 billion worldwide, becoming the third highest grossing film of 2012. 107 IGN reviewer Jim Vejvoda labeled Hathaway a magnetic presence whenever she's on screen and added, "Selina may be the proverbial good-bad girl, the thief with a heart of gold, but Hathaway imbues her with a wounded spirit and a survivor's edge that makes her feel genuine and sympathetic even when she's being naughty." 108. She won the Saturn Award for Best Supporting Actress for her performance. 109. Hathaway portrayed Fantine, a prostitute dying of tuberculosis, in Tom Hooper's Les Miserables, an adaptation of the stage musical of the same name. Footage of the actress singing I Dreamed a Dream, a song from the film, was shown at the 2012 Cinemacon, where Hooper described her singing as raw and real. 110 In preparation for the role, Hathaway consumed fewer than 500 calories a day to lose 25 pounds, 11 kilograms, researched prostitution, and cut her hair. 112 to adopt her character's mental space alone during production in London. She sent her husband back to the United States. This resulted in her becoming increasingly temperamental. 113 Ann Hornaday of the Washington Post asserted that the centerpiece of a movie composed entirely of centerpieces belongs to Anne Hathaway, who as the tragic heroine Fantine sings another of the memorable numbers. 114 She won the Academy Award, Golden Globe, Screen Actors Guild and BAFTA Award for Best Supporting Actress. 116 asked if she was pleased with her performance in the film. Hathaway expressed doubts, replying with a 115 In January 2013, Hathaway's rendition of I Dreamed a Dream reached number 69 on the Billboard Hot 100. 117. A short-haired brunette, wearing a black dress, is smiling to her left. Hathaway at a screening of Rio 2 in 2014. After briefly appearing in the romantic comedy Don John, 2013, 118 Hathaway starred in and co-produced, with her husband and others, Song 1. In the drama film, she played an anthropology student who returns home to see her injured brother, Henry, played by Ben Rosenfield, and soon begins a romantic relationship with his favorite musician, James Forrester, played by Johnny Flynn. Her character was originally written as a 19-year-old, but Kate Barker Froiland, the film's writer and director, changed the part to that of an older woman after casting Hathaway. 119 The actress said the reason she decided to produce the film was because of its depiction of the healing power of music and second chances. 124 The film's soundtrack, she provided her voice for the song Afraid of Heights. 121 Song 1 premiered in the U.S. dramatic competition at the 30th Sundance Film Festival in January 2014. 122 and released in theaters the following year to mixed reviews from critics. 123 Commercially, the film failed to recoup its $6 million investment. 124. Hathaway reprised her role as Jewel in the animated film Rio 2, her third film with Jamie Foxx, which was released in 2014. 125 It grossed nearly 5 times more than its $103 million budget. 126 Her sole live-action release of 2014 was Christopher Nolan's epic science fiction film Interstellar. Set in a dystopian future where humanity is struggling to survive, it follows a crew of astronauts who travel through a wormhole in search of a new home for mankind. Hathaway was drawn to the part of NASA scientist Amelia Brand due to the character's growth from an arrogant to a humbler person. 127 With a budget of $165 million, the high-profile production co-starring Matthew McConaughey was filmed mostly using IMAX cameras. 128 129 Hathaway nearly experienced hypothermia while filming a water scene in Iceland, as the dry suit she was wearing had not been properly secured. 130 Reviewers for The Independent and Empire found her to be affecting in the part of a scientist unable to decide between her personal feelings and professional responsibilities. 131 And took notice of the soulful nuance in her performance. 132 Interstellar grossed over $701 million worldwide. 133 And earned Hathaway a nomination for the Saturn Award for Best Actress. 134. 2015 to 2021, mixed success. Hathaway began 2015 with an appearance in the first season of the musical reality show Lip Sync Battle. In the episode, she competed against her The Devil Wears Prada co-star Emily Blunt. She lip-synced Love by Mary J. Blige and Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus. 135 Nancy Meyers The Intern was Hathaway's sole film release of 2015. It tells the story of Ben Whittaker, played by Robert De Niro, a 70-year-old widower who becomes a senior intern at an online fashion site run by Jules Austin Hathaway. She had aspired to work with De Niro and Meyers, her favorite actor and director, respectively. Impressed with the film's story, she auditioned for the third time for a Myers film. See 137 reviews of the film were generally positive. One in Roger Ebert's website found her to be extremely appealing, and a reviewer for New York Magazine wrote, "The intern gets off on De Niro's amiability and Hathaway's sweet energy." 138-139 The film grossed $194 million worldwide against a $35 million budget. 140 The 2015 found-footage horror film Be My Cat, a film for N, about an aspiring Romanian filmmaker who goes to shocking extremes to convince Hathaway to star in his film, was officially selected and had its North American premiere at the 2016 Nashville Film Festival. 141. Hathaway at the 2016 Toronto International Film Festival. Hathaway reprised the role of the White Queen in Alice Through the Looking Glass, the 2016 sequel to Alice in Wonderland. 142 That March, it was reported that she would reprise her role for The Princess Diaries 3, the project was shelved after the death of Gary Marshall, who was set to direct the film. 143 Hathaway is one of several actors featured on Barbra Streisand's 2016 album Encore, Movie Partners Sing Broadway. Along with Daisy Ridley, Hathaway and Streisand performed the song at the ballet from a chorus line. She played the role of Maggie, one of a trio of dancers hoping to be cast in an upcoming show. 144 Her final film that year was alongside Jason Sudeikis in Nacho Vigando's science fiction black comedy Colossal, 2016. 145 Playing an unemployed young writer, Hathaway was the first actress to sign on at a time when the project had no financial backing. She was drawn to the genre-hopping nature of the script, later comparing it to Being John Malkovich, 1999, one of her favorite films. 146 The film received positive reviews from critics, but earned only $4 million at the box office. 147 148 After a 2-year absence from the screen, Hathaway starred as a famous actress in Ocean's 8, an all-female spin-off of the Ocean's 11 franchise from director Gary Ross. 149 Co-starring Sandra Bullock and Cate Blanchett, it follows a group of criminals who plan to rob the Met Gala. Hathaway was drawn to the idea of playing someone with an immense ego and saw the part as an opportunity to lean into all the ridiculous fame nonsense that I've been trying to sidestep for all of these years. 150. She hoped the film would be profitable so that it could debunk claims that female-led films do not succeed commercially. 151 Critics generally considered Hathaway to be a scene stealer among the cast. 152 With ABC Online's Jason DeRosso writing, the film's best moments belong to Hathaway as the anxiety-ridden, vain, and capricious starlet. She's the only successful meld of comedy and pathos, a victim of the celebrity treadmill who is also capable of outsmarting it. 153. Ocean's 8 was a box office success, grossing over $297 million worldwide against a $70 million budget. 154. Hathaway's first two films of 2019, the thriller Serenity and the comedy The Hustle, were poorly received by critics. 155 156 In the former, she starred alongside her Interstellar co-star Matthew McConaughey as a woman who tasks her ex-husband to kill her new abusive husband, a role for which she dyed her hair blonde. 157 The Washington Post dismissed her performance as cartoonish, adding that her femme fatale character was reminiscent of a kind of live-action Jessica Rabbit. 158 The latter film was a remake of the 1988 film Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, co-starring Rebel Wilson, which emerged as a sleeper hit. 159 160 Hathaway next played a woman with bipolar disorder in an episode of the Amazon Prime Video romantic anthology series Modern Love. 161 She then played the wife of Mark Ruffalo's character in Todd Haynes' legal drama Dark Waters, about environmental poisoning committed by the chemical company DuPont. 162 Writing for Variety, Owen Gleiberman termed her supporting performance a piercing dance of agony and loyalty. 163. Hathaway began the new decade with the political thriller The Last Thing He Wanted, 2020, based on the book of the same name by Joan Didion. She considered herself to be an unlikely choice for the part of a headstrong journalist, as it differed from her own puppy dog personality. 164. It received negative reviews from critics. 165. She then starred in The Witches, an adaptation of the novel of the same name from director Robert Zemeckis, in which she played an evil witch. The film received mixed reviews from critics, who deemed it inferior to the 1990 adaptation. 166. 167. Hathaway's performances in both films earned her nominations for Worst Actress at the 41st Golden Raspberry Awards. 168. In 2021, she starred in the heist film Lockdown, directed by Doug Liman, which premiered on HBO Max. Set during the COVID-19 pandemic, it co-starred Chiwetel Ejiofor. 169. 170. The film was shot over the course of 18 days with limited resources. 171. She next took on a role in one episode of the Amazon Prime Video anthology series Solos. 172. 2022, present, mainstream resurgence. Hathaway at the 2023 Berlin International Film Festival. Hathaway executive produced and starred opposite Jared Leto in the Apple TV Plus miniseries We Crashed, about the company we work. 173. 174. It received favorable reviews, with particular praise for Hathaway's portrayal of Rebecca Newman. 175. Angie Han of The Hollywood Reporter commended her for resisting the temptation to turn Rebecca into an exaggerated caricature of an entitled woo-woo type, which ultimately only makes Rebecca funnier. 176. Hathaway starred in James Gray's semi-autobiographical period drama Armageddon Time, portraying a character inspired by Gray's mother. 177. David Rooney of The Hollywood Reporter considered it her best performance since Rachel Getting Married, while Owen Gleiberman of Variety praised Hathaway for making her character at once affectionate and blinkered. 178. 179. In her two film releases of 2023, Eileen and She Came to Me, Hathaway played emotionally troubled psychiatrists. 180. Eileen, based on Otis Amoshfaga's thriller novel of the same name, starred Thomasin McKenzie in the title role and premiered at the 2023 Sundance Film Festival. 181. Hathaway described the project as Carol meets Reservoir Dogs. 182. Ryan Lattanzio of IndieWire believed that Hathaway has never been better in a role that feels tailor-made for her. 183. At that year's Berlin International Film Festival, Rebecca Miller's romantic comedy She Came to Me was released. 184. Hathaway's first release of 2024 was as a grieving mother coping with the loss of her son in the thriller Mother's Instinct. 185. A remake of the 2018 Belgian film, she co-starred with Jessica Chastain. 186. Hathaway created a protective layer between herself and her character, requesting for cast and crew members to refer to her by her character's name as she deemed the loss of a child her worst fear. 187. Writing for The Guardian, Peter Bradshaw thought that her performance was overshadowed by that of Chastain. 188. She next led the romantic comedy The Idea of You, based on Robin Lee's novel of the same name, playing a divorced mother who begins a romance with a younger pop star. 189. 190. Alyssa Wilkinson of the New York Times believed that the film succeeds mostly because of Hathaway's performance, and praised her chemistry with co-star Nicolas Galitzine. 191. Hathaway in 2026. In 2026, Hathaway starred alongside Michaela Coel in David Lowery's Mother Mary 192 and reprised the role of Andrea Andy Sachs in The Devil Wears Prada 2. 193. 194. She will next reunite with Christopher Nolan on the historical epic The Odyssey as Penelope, and will star in a film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's thriller novel Verity. 195-196 She will also lead David Robert Mitchell's science fiction film The End of Oak Street. 197. Public image. Hathaway signing autographs for fans at the 2008 Toronto International Film Festival. Describing her off-screen persona, John Hiscock of the Daily Telegraph wrote in 2014 that Hathaway is a well-grounded, friendly young woman with a good sense of humor, a wide smile and an easygoing attitude. 198 Hiscock further opines that, despite considerable success, she has never gone Hollywood, remaining close with her friends. 198 The authors of the book 365 Style noted Hathaway's girl next door image, and her The Intern director Nancy Myers says she is wise beyond her years. 199-200 The journalist Laura Brown found her to be a sincere, warm, and funny woman. 201 After her 2013 awards acceptance speeches for Les Miserables, The Atlantic noted that several media commentators accused her of being annoying and making awkward jokes. 202 Discussing this, Hathaway explained that she feels anxious when public speaking but has since grown from it and become a more compassionate person. 201 She said regarding her perceived image, "People have this idea of me as just being a very prim, professional girl, which I suppose I am, but I do cut loose and have fun in my life." 5. Remarking on her performance in Twelfth Night, Charles Isherwood wrote, "On screen or on stage Ms. Hathaway possesses the unmistakable glow of a natural star." 72 An Esquire writer wrote in 2018 that many of her good performances had been overlooked, describing her career as subtle brilliance that has largely gone unnoticed. 203 Discussing her career in 2015, Hathaway said that, after her breakthrough in The Princess Diaries, she struggled to find roles that were serious, or were not about princesses. According to Judy Guglielmi of People, Hathaway used that fear of being typecast as motivation to build a versatile body of work. Guglielmi believed that her ability to extensively research her roles is the key to her success. 204 A writer for the Daily Telegraph commended her willingness to appear in different genres, ranging from action comedies to dramas. 205 Hathaway aspires to appear in many different films, work with different directors and play diverse roles. 204 She said she would be lost without acting and feels lucky to have found it as her profession. 206 A trained stage actress, she prefers performing on stage to film roles and claims to be terrified of acting on camera. 7 I always assume that every film is my last, and I always assume that I have to go out and convince everybody why they have to hire me. I still audition, she said in 2015. 120. Forbes reported that Hathaway was one of the world's highest paid actresses in 2015. 207 And since 2017, she has been among the highest grossing actresses of the 21st century. 208 In 2009, she was included on Forbes' annual Celebrity 100 list with earnings of $7 million, and was invited to join the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. 209-210 As of July 2018, her films had grossed $6.7 billion worldwide. 211 Profiled as among the world's leading actresses by Vanity Fair, Hathaway, according to Catherine Ellsworth of the Daily Telegraph, is pursued both by directors and by cosmetics companies. 5 In January 2008, she joined French luxury perfumes and cosmetics house Lancôme as the face of their fragrance Magnifique. 212-213 In 2011, she became the new face of the Italian company Tod's. 214. Hathaway's beauty and sex appeal have been picked up by several media outlets. FHM, People, Maxim, Empire, and Entertainment Weekly have included her on their yearly listings of sexiest women. 215 In 2011, Los Angeles Times magazine listed her as one of the 50 most beautiful women in film. 216 Ellsworth called her in 2008 the hottest young actress in Hollywood. 5 Hathaway disagreed, insisting that she has a good girl image and no sex appeal. 217 She has refused to undergo treatment with Botox, saying she is comfortable in her own skin. 218 Activism. Hathaway at the 2018 Human Rights Campaign dinner in Washington, D.C. Hathaway has served as a long-term advocate for the Nike Foundation to raise awareness against child marriage. 219 In July 2006, she spent a week in Nicaragua to help vaccinate children against hepatitis A. 220 She has also traveled to other countries to promote the rights of women and girls, including Kenya and Ethiopia. 221 In 2008, she was honored at EL's Women in Hollywood tribute and won an award from the Human Rights Campaign for her philanthropy. 223 She was also honored for her work with Step Up Women's Network in 2008. 224 She then teamed up in 2010 with World Bank in a 2-year development program, The Girl Effect, whose mission focuses on helping empower girls in developing and developed nations where 1/3 of young women are not employed and not in school. 225 In 2013, she provided the narration for Girl Rising, a CNN documentary film, which focused on the power of female education as it followed 7 girls around the world who sought to overcome obstacles and follow their dreams. 219 Hathaway serves on the board of the Lollipop Theater Network and is involved with charities Creative Coalition, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and the Human Rights Campaign. 227 In 2016, Hathaway was appointed UN Women Goodwill Ambassador based on her advocacy for gender equality. The following year, she spoke on International Women's Day in favor of paid parental leave for both men and women. 228 To promote an increased awareness of systemic sexism in the entertainment industry, Hathaway has advocated for greater professional opportunities for women and criticized Hollywood as not being a place of equality. 229 In 2018, she collaborated with 300 women in Hollywood to set up the Time's Up initiative to protect women from harassment and discrimination. 230 Political views. Hathaway supports abortion rights movements, gun control, and immigrant rights. 231 232 233 She has criticized President Donald Trump for his administration's anti-immigration policies. 234 Hathaway is also a supporter of LGBT rights, and has donated money to organizations which support the legalization of same-sex marriage. 235 236 She has spoken out on issues such as homophobia, school bullying, transphobia and white privilege, writing in an Instagram post that black people fear for their lives daily in America and have done so for generations. 237 Hathaway attended the 2008 Democratic National Convention in support of Barack Obama. 238 Hathaway would again support Obama during the 2012 United States presidential election. 239 4 years later in 2016, she supported the campaign of fellow Democratic politician Hillary Clinton during that year's presidential election, appearing at a benefit concert at the St. James Theater in New York City alongside Sienna Miller, Sarah Jessica Parker, Emily Blunt, and Helen Mirren in support of the campaign. 241 During the 2020 United States presidential election, she supported Democratic candidate Joe Biden. 242 She supported Kamala Harris in the 2024 United States presidential election. 243 In 2022, in response to the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Hathaway stated that she was sending her sincere prayers to the people of Ukraine and made donations to the Ukrainian Red Cross Society, UNICEF, and Save the Children to help Ukrainians affected by the war. 244 She praised the Berlin International Film Festival in 2023 for featuring Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who gave a televised speech during the opening ceremony. 245 Personal life. Hathaway dated Italian real estate developer Raffaello Lowery from 2004 to 2008. 7. Lowery was investigated by the IRS in June 2008 for failure to file required nonprofit information forms. 246. He was arrested on charges of defrauding investors, including former U.S. President Bill Clinton, out of millions of dollars in a scheme that saw him pose as the Vatican's real estate agent and acquire donations that he said would be used to build churches in the U.S. 247. The FBI confiscated Hathaway's private journals from Lowery's New York City apartment as part of their investigation into his activities. Hathaway was not charged with a crime. 248. In October 2008, after pleading guilty, Lowery was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison. 249. In early 2007, Hathaway discussed experiencing depression during her teenage years, claiming that she eventually overcame it without medication. 250. In 2008, she began smoking after a stressful summer and the end of her relationship with Lowery. 251. She later credited quitting smoking for a decline in her stress levels, and returned to being a vegetarian. 251. 252. She became a vegan in early 2012, but began eating fish again in 2014. 253. 254. 255. She quit drinking alcohol in October 2018 and has described herself as sober. 256. 257. 258. She is a fan of English football team Arsenal FC. 259. Hathaway married actor and businessman Adam Schulman in a traditional Jewish ceremony in Big Sur on September 29, 2012. 260. They sold their wedding photo and donated the profits to the same-sex marriage advocacy group Freedom to Marry, and later hosted the group's national engagement party, which raised $500,000. 222. They own several homes, including a chalet in Southern California, their primary residence, and a penthouse on the Upper West Side of New York City. 261. They have 2 sons together, Jonathan born in March 2016 262 and Jack born in November 2019. 263. Hathaway had previously suffered a miscarriage in 2015. 264. Acting credits and awards. Main articles, list of Anne Hathaway performances and list of awards and nominations received by Anne Hathaway. Hathaway's most acclaimed and highest-grossing films, according to Box Office Mojo and the review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes, include The Princess Diaries, 2001, Brokeback Mountain, 2005, The Devil Wears Prada, 2006, Get Smart, 2008, Rachel Getting Married, 2008, Valentine's Day, 2010, Alice in Wonderland, 2010, Love and Other Drugs, 2010, The Dark Knight Rises, 2012, Les Miserables, 2012, Interstellar, 2014, The Intern, 2015, Colossal, 2016, and Ocean's 8, 2018. 55. 265. Hathaway has been nominated for 2 Academy Awards 67 115 3 Golden Globe Awards 65 87 116 and a British Academy Film Award 116. She has won an Academy Award, a Golden Globe, a Screen Actors Guild and a BAFTA Award for Best Supporting Actress for Les Miserables. 115. 116. She has also won a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Voice-Over Performance for her voice role in a 2010 episode of The Simpsons. 74. In November 2018, Hathaway was one of 50 nominees for the New Jersey Hall of Fame, an organization that honors contributions to society and the world beyond. 266. In May 2019, Hathaway received a Motion Pictures Star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for her contributions to the film industry. Michaela Coel Collinson FRSL. born October 1, 1987, known professionally as Michaela Coel, is a British actress, writer, and television director. She is known for creating and starring in the E4 television sitcom Chewing Gum, 2015 to 2017, for which she won the BAFTA Award for Best Female Comedy Performance, and the BBC One/HBO comedy drama series I May Destroy You, 2020, for which she won the British Academy Television Award for Best Actress in 2021. For her work on I May Destroy You, Coel was the first black woman to win the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Writing for a Limited Series, Movie, or Dramatic Special. 1. Coel is also known for her work in other Netflix productions, including guest starring in the series Black Mirror, 2016 to 2017, and starring in the series Black Earth Rising, 2018, and film Been So Long, 2018. Early life and education. Michaela Coel Collinson 23 was born on October 1, 1987 in East London, England. 4 Her parents are Ghanaian. 5 She and her sister were raised by their mother in East London for primarily Hackney and Tower Hamlets. 6-7 She attended Catholic schools in East London. 5 and has said that, during primary school, she bullied other pupils. She claimed that her behavior was caused by her isolation as the only black pupil in her age cohort. This isolation did not continue into her secondary education at a comprehensive school. 2. From 2007 to 2009, Coel attended the University of Birmingham, studying English literature and theology. 8 She took a Che Walker master class after meeting Walker at open mic nights. 9 In 2009, she transferred to the Guildhall School of Music and Drama, where she was the first black woman enrolled in 5 years. 7 She won the Laurence Olivier Bursary Award, which helped her fund her schooling. 10 During her time at Guildhall, Coel attended the Marc Proulx workshop at Prima del Teatro and took the Cat Francois poetry course at the Theatre Royal Stratford East. 8 She graduated from the Guildhall School of Music and Drama in 2012. 11. Career. Beginnings. In 2006, Coel began performing at poetry open mics in Ealing. 12 As she continued to do open mics, she was encouraged to apply to Guildhall by director and actor Che Walker, who saw her perform at the Hackney Empire. 7 As a poet, Coel performed on many stages, including Wembley Arena, Bush Theatre, Nuyorican Poets Cafe and Adolan, Rotterdam. She went by the name Michaela the Poet. 3. Coel joined the Talawa Theatre Company Summer School Program TYPT in 2009. 13-14 During her time at Talawa, Coel was in the TYPT 2009 production of Crunch, directed by Ameni Naftali. 15 That same year, Coel released an album entitled Fixing Barbie, which featured her work as a poet and musician. 16 In 2011, Coel released the record We're the Losers. 17. Coel's play Chewing Gum Dreams was her senior graduation project at Guildhall in 2012. The play was first produced at the Yard Theatre in Hackney Wick. 18 The play featured Coel in a one-woman show telling the dramatic story of a 14-year-old girl named Tracy. 7 The play was next produced by the Bush Theatre, 2012, Royal Theatre Holland, 2012, Royal Exchange Theatre, 2013, and the National Theatre, 2014. 19 It received positive reviews. 2021. Early work and breakthrough, 2013 to 2019. In 2013, Coel appeared in the Channel 4 drama Top Boy. She has had leading roles at the National Theatre, including the award-nominated Home and the critically acclaimed Media. 22. Channel 4 announced in August 2014 that Coel would write and star in a new sitcom called Chewing Gum, inspired by her play Chewing Gum Dreams. 23 C4 comedy blaps were released as teasers in September 2014, and the series began on E4 in October 2015. Her performance earned her the British Academy Television Award for Best Female Comedy Performance in 2016. She also won a BAFTA for Breakthrough Talent for writing the show. 24 Chewing Gum received overwhelmingly positive reviews. 25. In 2015, Coel appeared in BBC One drama London Spy. 26. The following year, she played Lilyhot in the E4 sci-fi comedy drama The Aliens, which was filmed in Bulgaria. 27, 28, 29. Chewing Gum returned for a second series in January 2017. 5:30. She also appeared in both the Nosedive and USS Callister episodes of Charlie Brooker's series Black Mirror. 30:31. Coel also had a small role in the 2017 film Star Wars: The Last Jedi. 32. In 2018, Coel starred in Black Earth Rising, a co-production between BBC Two and Netflix, where she played Kate, the main character. She also starred as Simone in the musical drama film Been So Long, by Che Walker, based on his own stage play, which was released on Netflix to positive reviews in October 2018. Critical acclaim, 2020, present. Coel created, wrote, produced, co-directed and starred in the comedy drama series I May Destroy You, inspired by her own experience of sexual assault. 33. The show launched on BBC One in the UK and HBO in the US in June 2020 to widespread acclaim. 34, 35, 36. She acknowledged refusing $1 million from Netflix after the streaming service declined to offer her intellectual property ownership of her show. 37, 38. In 2020, Coel was included in Time's 100 Most Influential People. 39. She was also named as one of the breakout stars of 2020 for film. 40. Coel also appeared in British Vogue's 2020 list of influential women. 41. Furthermore, in the 15th annual Power List of the most influential people of African or African Caribbean heritage in the United Kingdom, Coel was ranked 4th for the impact of her work I May Destroy You. 42. 43. In July 2021, Coel was cast in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which was released on November 11, 2022. 44. She plays the role of Anika, a member of the Dora Milaje. 45. Coel's first book, Misfits, a personal manifesto, was published simultaneously in the UK and the USA on September 7, 2021 by Ebury Press. Based on her McTaggart lecture at 2018's Edinburgh Festival, which touches on Coel's experiences with racism and misogyny, her publisher described the book as a powerful manifesto on how speaking your truth and owning your differences can transform your life. 46. 47. Coel was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society of Literature in 2022. 48. She will next star in David Lowery's Mother Mary. 49. On August 19, 2024, Coel announced her first TV show in 4 years. Coel will write, star in and executive produce First Day on Earth, a 10-part series for the BBC, which will begin filming in 2025. 50. In March 2026, it was announced that Coel will write and direct a reimagining of the 1988 film Bloodsport, with A24 producing. 51. Personal life. At the 2016 British Academy Television Awards, Coel wore a gown designed by her mother, made of Kent cloth. 52. She has said that, like her chewing gum character Tracy, she became very religious as a Pentecostal Christian and embraced celibacy. 7. Coel stopped practicing Pentecostalism after attending Guildhall. 2. In August 2018, Coel disclosed that she was drugged and sexually assaulted by 2 unnamed men during the writing of her sitcom Chewing Gum. The attack would later inspire her to create the TV drama I May Destroy You. Talia D. Brett Barnett, born January 17, 1988, known professionally as FKA Twigs, is an English singer, songwriter, record producer, actor, and dancer. She was a backup dancer for numerous musicians, and made her musical debut with EP1, 2012. Barnett's debut studio album, LP1, 2014, reached number 16 on the UK Albums Chart and number 30 on the US Billboard 200. It was nominated for that year's Mercury Prize. She then released the EP M3LL155X, 2015. Barnett took a 4-year hiatus before releasing her second studio album, Magdalene, 2019. After signing with Atlantic Records, she released the mixtape Capri Songs, 2022. Her third and fourth studio albums, Yuzekshuu and Yuzekshuu, Afterglow, were released in 2025. At the 68th Annual Grammy Awards, Yuzekshuu received the award for Best Dance/Electronic Album. Her work has garnered critical acclaim and has been described as genre-bending, 7 drawing on various genres including electronic music, trip-hop, R&B, hyper-pop, and the avant-garde. Early life. Talia Debrett Barnett 8 was born on 17 January 1988-89 in Cheltenham, Gloucestershire. 10 The only child of an English mother who was a dancer and gymnast and a Jamaican father who was a musician. 11 She has Spanish ancestry from her mother's side of the family. 12 She was raised by her mother and stepfather, whom she described as a jazz fanatic of Bajan descent. 13 And did not meet her biological father until she was 18. 12 14 15 Barnett grew up in Cheltenham, a spa town she described as being kind of in the middle of nowhere. 11 She attended St. Edward's School, a private co-educational Catholic school. 16-17 Her education at the school was funded by a scholarship award. 18 From a young age, she undertook opera and ballet lessons and took part in several St. Edward's School productions. 19 At age 16, Barnett started making music in youth clubs. 15 At age 17, she moved to South London to pursue a career as a dancer. 20 And enrolled at the Brit School. 21 At age 18, she began working with local record producers to try to find her own musical sound. Around this time, she wrote the song I'm Your Doll and ended up producing a lot of what she considers to be really bad demos. 12 After changing her focus from dance to music, she transferred to Croydon College to pursue an education in fine arts. 14 She worked as a backup dancer in music videos by artists such as Kylie Minogue, Plan B, Ed Sheeran, Tayo Cruz, Dion Bromfield, Jessie J, and Wretch 32. 22 She was a backup dancer for Jessie J in her 2010 video for Do It Like a Dude. 23 And appeared again in her 2011 video for Price Tag. 24 For a time, she worked as a hostess in a strip club. 25 And sang periodically at the Box Soho in Soho, City of Westminster. 14 Career. FKA Twigs performing live in Berlin, March 2015. 2012 to 2013, career beginnings. In 2012, Barnett was photographed for the cover of ID magazine. 26 She became known as Twigs for the way her joints crack. 11 She added the letters FKA to her name when another act called the Twigs, twin sisters active and recording since 1994, asked her to change her stage name. 11 It was believed or assumed that the FKA stood for the business abbreviation formerly known as 27 28 29, but Barnett has said in multiple interviews that the letters do not stand for anything in particular, it's just a collection of letters. I was gonna be like FK1 Twigs, or AFK Twigs. I just wanted a selection of letters that sounded quite kind of masculine and strong. FKA just worked. It doesn't stand for anything, it's just capital letters. 3031. Barnett self-released her music debut, EP1, on Bandcamp on December 4, 2012. She posted a video for each song on her YouTube channel. 23 In August 2013, she released the video for her first single, Water Me, directed by Jesse Kanda. 32-33 That same month The Guardian profiled Barnett for their new Band of the Day feature, describing her as the UK's best example to date of ethereal, twisted R&B. 34 Barnett's second extended play, EP2, was released through the Young Turks record label in September. 35 It was produced by Barnett and Arca. Pitchfork gave EP2 a rating of 8/10. 36 In December, she was nominated for the BBC's Sound of 2014 prize, and was chosen by Spotify for their Spotlight on 2014 list. 37-38 Barnett was then featured on Billboard's 14 Artists to Watch in 2014. 39. 2014 to 2017, LP1 and M3 LL155X. FKA Twigs performing at the Laneway Festival in Sydney, 2015. In April 2014, Barnett appeared on the cover of The Fader for its 91st issue. 40 She began writing for her first studio album during a period of self-hatred, which she considers quite normal for a young person. 12 On June 24, she released 2 Weeks, the lead single from her forthcoming album, alongside a video. Barnett directed and guest-starred in the music video for Ouch Ouch by rapper Lucky $. She produced the track. 41 The second single, Pendulum, was released on July 29. Her debut studio album, LP1, was released on August 6 through the record label Young Turks. 42 The album received widespread critical acclaim and placed high on several year-end critics' lists. Time gave a positive review, saying that Barnett has made that transition to one of the most compelling and complex acts in R&B, and later ranked it, as did Clash, #1 album of the year. 43 She then announced a world tour starting on October 2 at the Dome in Brighton, East Sussex, and ending on December 3 in Orlando, Florida at the Social. 44 That same August, Barnett was signed to London-based production company Academy Films. On August 20, she uploaded 3 videos to her YouTube channel which she directed, a video titled Wet Wipes, starring the London dance crew of the same name, a video titled TW Ache, which is a remix of the EP1 song Ache, and a video for the Lucky $. Track Ouch Ouch, which she produced. Citation needed In September, LP1 was revealed as one of the nominees for the 2014 Mercury Prize. 45 The same month, Barnett performed on BBC's Later, with Jules Holland. 46 In October, Video Girl, the third and last single from the album, was released alongside a video a few days later, as well as an advert for Google Glass which Barnett directed. 47 She made her US television debut on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon on November 4. 48. In 2014, producer Boots announced he was working with Barnett on her third EP. 49. The video for Glass and Patron, the first song released from this EP, was posted on her YouTube channel on March 23, 2015, it was directed by Barnett. 51 In February 2015, she performed Congregata, a theatrical coming-together and choreographed performance that visualized the story of my life while making this album at the Roundhouse in Camden, London. 52 On May 15, on her Instagram account, she posted a picture of men posing with jackets on that had an image of Barnett's face from the Poppy Pacify video with Barnett captioning the pic coming soon. 3. Hinting at either merchandise or EP3's alleged release in the summer. During an interview with Complex released in June, she stated that she had changed the title of the EP to Melissa, and that it would be released within 2 months. She confirmed it would include the songs Glass and Patron, Mother Creep, I'm Your Doll, Figure 8, and In Time. 12 The EP, still listed as M3LL155X, was released in 2015, containing all 5 announced tracks and accompanied by 4 videos, which were directed by Barnett, featuring Pregnancy, Sex Dolls, Voguing, and Michelle Lamy. In 2016, Barnett debuted a new song and music video titled Good to Love. 53 The song premiered earlier at Soundtrack 7, her 7-day residency at Manchester International Festival that took place in July 2015. 54 She performed the song on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon on February 24. 55 On July 9, Barnett debuted a new stage show called Radiant Me Superscript 2 at Moscow's Lastica Festival, where she unveiled 3 previously unheard songs. 56 In 2016 the dance film soundtrack 7 was premiered. Directed by Barnett, the film was created, performed, and filmed on-site across 7 days at Manchester International Festival in 2015. 57-58 she did advertising work directing, narrating, and starring in a television ad for Nike. 59 and dancing in Apple's advertisement for HomePod. 60. 2018 to 2022, Magdalene and Capri songs. FKA Twigs performing in 2019. Barnett appeared on A$AP Rocky's album Testing in 2018, featuring on the track Fuck Sleep. On April 24, 2019, she released the single Cellophane, 61, her first release since Good to Love in 2016. In September, Barnett announced that her second album, co-produced with Nicholas Jarre among others, would be titled Magdalene, supported by second single Holy Terrain, featuring Future, on September 9. 62 On October 7, she released the third single, Home With You, and announced that the album would be delayed until November 8. 63 The fourth single, Sad Day, was released on November 4. Magdalene was released in November 2019. It received universal critical acclaim. The album ranked number 1 on 4 year-end lists, the AV Club, Clash, Now, and Time, and in top 5 of 7 other lists. The same day, the film Honey Boy, in which Barnett played Shy Girl, had a commercial premiere. The film received positive reviews from critics. 64 In 2020 she appeared in an OnlyFans-inspired music video for the song Some'bout You with rapper 645 AR. 65 The video for Sad Day, directed by Hiro Murai, premiered on August 28. In September, Barnett received 4 nominations for the 2020 UK Music Video Awards. Sad Day won later the Best Cinematography in a Video. 66-67. In October, Barnett took part in a virtual chat on the Grammy Museum's Programs at Home series. During the chat, she revealed that she was just finishing a new album that she made largely in collaboration with Spanish musician and producer El Guincho, and with other collaborators, many of whom she met for the first time via FaceTime calls. 68 In November, British singer Dua Lipa hosted a live stream concert, titled Studio 2054, in which Barnett was invited to play as a guest. The two teased an upcoming collaboration, titled Why Don't You Love Me, during Barnett's performance. 69. On January 25, 2021, Barnett announced the single Don't Judge Me, featuring rapper Headed One and producer Fred Again, to be released the next day alongside a video co-directed by director Emmanuel Agi and herself. 70 The same day, she took part in a podcast episode with Louis Theroux and discussed her previous known relationships and an upcoming album, stating it was all via the internet. I have more collaborations and features on this album than I ever had before. 71. In February, she described the album as a going-out record, and revealed it would feature collaborations with Nigerian Afrobeats musician Rema, British rapper Pa Salihu. 72 A few days later, Barnett, interviewed by British actress and screenwriter Michaela Coel, revealed that she had changed the undisclosed, original title of the upcoming record due to a well-known artist titling a non-musical project the same thing. 73 In an interview with Vogue in May, Barnett revealed the album does not have a set release date, but wanted to release it in the northern summer of 2021. 74 In July 2021, Barnett directed the music video for Coel's White Picket Fence single. 75. Barnett joined the FKA Twigs Discord server in September 2021 and shared details about the upcoming record. Barnett confirmed the project to be a mixtape, and listed El Guincho, Coelis, and Arca, as well as new collaborators American hip-hop producer Mike Dean and Canadian pop producer Circuit, as producers for the project. 76 She additionally teased a collaboration with Swedish rapper Young Lean on Instagram. 77. Barnett released the single Measure of a Man, featuring British rapper Central C, in November 2021, which appears as part of the film's soundtrack for The King's Man. 78 Tears in the Club featuring Canadian singer The Weeknd was released on December 16. The song was her first release under Atlantic Records and served as the lead single from her mixtape, titled Capri Songs, which was released on January 14, 2022. 79 Capri Songs also includes appearances from Pa Salihu, Daniel Caesar, Rema, Jorge Smith, Unknown T, Dystopia and Shijairl. 80 Barnett was awarded Godlike Genius at the 2022 BandLab NME Awards in March, where she also performed Meta Angel, and Tears in the Club. 81 She additionally featured on Young Lean's Stardust album in April. 2022, Present, Yuzekshu and Yuzekshu, Afterglow. FKA Twigs at the Primavera Sound 2025. In June 2022 Barnett released Killer. The song is about the risks that you take for love and how the effects of heartbreak can define one's trajectory much more than the beauty of the love itself. 82 Barnett debuted the song live during an NPR Tiny Desk concert. 83 The Killer music video, featuring Barnett performing choreography with Aaron Piper on a beach in Portugal, was directed by Yoann Lemoine and released on July 20, 2022. 84. On September 14, 2023, Barnett performed a cover of Opus III's It's a Fine Day at Vogue World, London 2023, accompanied on stage by Cara Delevingne, whom she kissed, and members of the Rambert Dance Company. 85 On October 1, she introduced a new song titled Unearth Her with Corellis as part of a performance at the 2023 Valentino Women's Wear Spring/Summer 2024 Paris Fashion Week show. 86 On October 15, in a series of Instagram stories, the artist announced that 85 of her demo tracks had been leaked. She declared there would be no new music for a while, postponing her third studio album. 87. The title track for her third studio album, Yuzekshu, was released September 13, 2024. 88 On October 17, Perfect Stranger was released as the second single. 89 A third single, Drums of Death, released on November 14 with Corellis, with an accompanying highly choreographed music video in an office setting. 91. The lead single Cheap Hotel, from the follow-up album Yuzekshu, Afterglow was released on 26 September 2025. 92 The album's second single, Predictable Girl was released on November 11, 2025. It was accompanied by a music video starring Barnett and Siobhan Joubert, directed by Jordan Hemingway. 93-94. Yuzekshu, Afterglow was released on November 14, 2025 through Young and Atlantic Records. 95 The music video for the track Hard, directed by Jordan Hemingway, was released on the same day. 96. Calvin Klein ad controversy. In January 2024, the UK Advertising Standards Authority banned a Calvin Klein advertisement that featured Barnett posing semi-nude, on the grounds that it framed her as a stereotypical sexual object. Barnett defended the ad, saying that she is proud of her physicality. 97 In March 2024, the ASA revoked their ban, referencing the views of Barnett and the public, and concerned that our rationale for banning the ad was substantially flawed. 98. Musical style and influences. Pendulum. Duration, 31 seconds. 031. A 30-second sample of Pendulum, displaying Twigs art pop and R&B with snare rhythm and piano citation needed. Problems playing this file? See Media Help. FKA Twigs performing in Paradiso, Amsterdam, 2015. Possessing a soprano vocal range 99-152. Barnett's music has been described as genre-bending, 7 drawing on a variety of